So Elon Musk, representing Doge, was at a cabinet meeting with Trump and the team. Let's just jump right in. You got to take a look at this.
Well, a clear case of fraud was with the Small Business Administration, where they were handing out loans, $330 million worth of loans to people under the age of 11. I think the youngest, Kelly, was a 9-month-old who got a $100,000 loan. That's a very precocious baby we're talking about here.
So there's Musk. He's wearing a baseball hat at the cabinet meeting. You can see no tie. Trump was right about everything his hat says. And it was interesting because we were talking about Musk clothes before. Trump even commented about it. I guess Musk is now back in charge. Then he refers to Kelly Loeffler. If you don't know, she was accused of insider trading. She's now in charge of the Small Business Association. So she's right
fraud,
there.
Waste and abuse in the agency. We've seen, hundreds of billions of dollars of fraud go unprosecuted. So we're taking that on. We have a zero tolerance policy for fraud, and we continue to crack down on it and make sure people are held accountable.
So they're talking about holding people accountable. Elon's talking about, babies getting loans. This is my thoughts on this. So if there is indeed fraud or waste or any of these kind of things, give a report before Congress. Go under oath, right? Promise to tell the truth, that kind of thing. Provide your evidence. But generally what Musk has been doing, these people, they'll tell it on social media. They'll tell it in these kind of meetings. They'll tell it in podcasts. But again, they won't go before Congress. They won't tell it to a judge. And they haven't charged anyone yet. These are the kind of things that are happening. What Musk is doing, though, is cutting off services, firing people. So that's their actions. Actions speak louder than words. And I just want to make sure that that's clear if you understand what I'm saying here. Why aren't they charging anyone? Well, actually, have a listen to this. This is kind of an interesting one. This is one of the Republicans talking on Fox News, and he's talking about dog legs and Doge. Have a watch of this.
I want to ask you about Doge because it's got Washington, D.C. in a tizzy. I want to get your sense of how confident you are, just seeing what they've done so far, that maybe $1 trillion is within sight.
I think it's incredibly in sight. But what I worry about is both parties. I think Washington's crooked as a dog's leg, and that in Washington, the money's going to come back to somewhere. You're going to see that paper trail, and I think that's when you're going to see. And I told Elon Musk this, and I told President Trump, I think you've got 100 and 150 days before members of both parties start pulling out on you, because Charles, it's going to start hitting close to home. Elon has a paper trail, and members are getting nervous, and that's why I don't think we're bringing any of these great findings to the floor of the House or the floor of the Senate, and nobody wants to, apparently, because they're afraid it's going to cut into their pocketbooks. And America better wake up and realize we've been given a gift. We have a chance to take our country back. $36 trillion in debt.
So I want you guys to just think about this. So the argument that they're making, the reason why no one goes before Congress, because actually Musk has been summoned before Congress or various committees, but Musk won't show. They're saying, oh, well, no one wants to present this in Congress because they're all afraid of the cuts. But the way that I'm saying it is, guys, if Musk is telling the truth, and if he does have the evidence, he would go, but he doesn't have anything. That's what I'm saying. I'm, leaving it up to you guys to make the decision on this stuff. Again, look at people's actions. Here's the actions. Musk makes accusations, won't go to Congress, won't present his evidence, won't swear under oath, yet he just wants to fire a lot of people. When he gets called out on his lies, he just gets really, really mad at the press. That's what they're running. That's the game that they're playing. Let me show you this too. This came out from the Washington Post today. It says, why Doge is struggling to find fraud in Social Security. Basically, the Inspector General did a assessment of fraud at Social Security. They're saying maybe it's less than 1%. This is the report here. If you want to read the whole thing, it says Office of Inspector General. The basic idea, though, however, is Trump and Musk want to fire all the inspector generals and essentially replace that with Doge. And again, Doge is Musk and all of these sort of young hacker type people. They're not forensic accountants, and they're going in accusing everyone of fraud. Again, they haven't charged anyone. They won't testify in front of Congress. And even though Musk has been called, I hope you guys understand what they're doing and how this game is played. On top of that, this is their priority. Their priority, the Trump and Musk people, is to fire you. That's their priority. They're all concerned about this. It says here, Trump asked Supreme Court to block ruling on rehiring workers. Basically, judges come in and say, hey, the stuff that Trump and Musk are doing is illegal. You got to rehire these people. And they're like, no, I don't want to rehire anyone. I mean, our priority is to fire people, right? That's their priority. And even Musk is tweeting out today, retweeting, I should say. There's this Josh Hawley guy. I think he's a Republican. Today, I'm introducing my bill to stop liberal judges' serial abuse of their power by banning nationwide injunctions. So basically, courts can order an injunction to sort of just freeze things, keep things the way they are. So they have time to review whatever cases or whatever changes that Trump and those people want to make. These people are like, well, no. We just want to make whatever changes. We want to fire whoever we want. We want to take control of everything and screw the courts. And this guy's introducing legislation to weaken the courts even more. It's pretty ridiculous if you ask me, but I just want to show you guys what's happening. On top of that, you got something like this. Then you have Bessent. So that would be the Treasury Secretary. It's very interesting. So their whole plan is to privatize everything, and they're going to make the case that if we cut all of the government workers, they're suddenly magically going to find jobs in the private sector. Have a little bit listen to this, and I want to pay attention to the reactions of Marco Rubio in particular. So let's watch together here. You'll see what I mean.
We are under your direction. We're reprivatizing the economy. We're bringing down government spending. We're bringing down excess employment in the government sector. On the other side, we're going to re-leverage the banking system.
So that's Bessent. That's the back of his head, but he's just basically talking about privatizing everything. And there's a Rubio on the far left. And pay attention to Rubio's behavior as Bessent talks. You'll see what I mean.
We're going to have all the new manufacturing jobs, so everyone who's laid off from the government will have an opportunity to go into the private sector, and that is going to lead to disinflation. Inflation is under control. We're going to get the affordability crisis fixed.
And once Bessent said inflation's under control, then sort of Rubio sort of kind of tuned out. He knows what Bessent is saying is a bunch of nonsense. And I've been telling you guys about this before. Coming from the Fed, coming from what consumers say, coming what various economists and business people say, we all know that inflation is not under control. And Bessent's trying to make the case of, guys, when we fire all these government workers, everything's going to be awesome. We're all going to be great. I mean, that's sort of the plan. Now, to be fair to him, if we do indeed fire a whole bunch of people, you could make the case that prices will go down because no one will have any money, and the companies are all forced to lower prices, etc. But I don't know that that's necessarily a good thing. I'll let you guys be the judge of that. I'll say probably not. This is why I mentioned Mark Rubio, because he starts to tune this stuff out. So watch Rubio here, and you'll see.
So lower energy, deregulation, more private sector jobs that will naturally get interest rates down. Mortgage rates are down almost every week since January 20th. The energy costs are down about 15%. Crude oil's down about 15%. And as we keep that going, interest rates are going to keep declining. It'll be good for mortgages. It'll be good for credit card debt. It'll be great for auto loans.
So the way that this plays out, and I just want you to see that, there are other people out there who are calling the BS. Now, Rubio, in my opinion, he's probably going to be the first to resign out of the Trump cabinet. But you can see Bessent is saying all this stuff. Everything's going to be awesome. Oh my God, everything's going to be great. All these interest rates are going to come down, etc. And one of the things about the interest rate thing, the Fed could cut rates, but if the Fed does cut rates, that means they're worried about recession. We're worried about growth. That's why a lot of the stuff that Bessent said, it doesn't make a lot of sense if you understand what's going on here. And Rubio instantly tunes it out when Bessent says that, hey, inflation's under control. But this is part of their game plan, is they want to distract you, say a bunch of nonsense, and tell you you're all going to be rich. For example, the guy I showed you guys before, one of the Republicans, he's going to be talking about donkeys and UFOs. Have a watch of this.
This week, Tennessee lawmaker Tim Burchett sharing about an account from an admiral describing an underwater UFO as large as a football field, moving at hundreds of miles per hour underwater. And Representative Burchett is joining us live on News Nation Prime now. Representative, I appreciate you making the time tonight.
Thank you, ma'am. I was just out in the field. My donkeys got out, so you're a welcome relief from all that.
And yes, you really did heard that correctly. His donkeys got out. What? Have a listen to some more.
There is a whole story there, but first let's talk about, tell me more about the circumstances that you talked about this week. What did the Admiral disclose to you? When was this? What exactly did he say?
It's been a while. I get a lot of people who want to disclose things to me, and I'm really cautious about it because, frankly, a lot of it is is just theory and things like that. When you hear firsthand accounts, and this isn't the first one that I've seen. There's been sonar. I've talked to several different people that have said this thing, and I believe sonar is underwater. So the way our military hides this from us is because our sonar is probably high tech. I don't know.
So the reason why I'm showing you guys this stuff is that oftentimes when they go out in the media and they're talking about UFOs and donkeys and stuff, it's to distract you from things that are important. So for example, other than the donkey situation, back here, you guys know JFK files have been released the last couple of days. And so now their plan is to release the JFK files or whatever. And essentially what we're all gonna be talking, oh, well, what happened with JFK? What happened to JFK, right? And then we'll completely ignore what's going on with Musk. Don't lose focus. I tell you guys what's going on, what he's up to. He's claiming lots of fraud, but again, look at their actions. Are they testifying before Congress? Are they bringing evidence? Are they swearing under oath? No, they're not doing these things. What they're doing is making all these accusations on social media. They're going on podcasts. They're having cabinet, meetings with their friends and stuff. But again, they're not going in front of Congress. They complain about judges, and their main goal, Trump and Musk, is to fire you and get rid of you. And who cares about the little people? That's their goal. They want to remove regulations so they can run their scams and whatever corruption they want to do. So just wanted to share my thoughts on this. Want to hear yours, and I'll catch you on the next video.